Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Salam Media with your host, Appa Fatimah Khoele Mokaba. In our second segment, Know Your Aalima. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Al-ilm nur, knowledge is light. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also mentioned that we should seek education from the cradle to the grave. Some influential women in Islam, Hazrat Hafsa radiallahu anhu, a guardian of the noble Quran, known for her intelligence and dedication. Be like Hafsa by valuing the Quran, engaging with its teachings, and preserving the sacred knowledge for the future generations, especially those women in Gaza. Our following speaker for today is no stranger to the Quran. She loves the Quran. Her name is Muallimah Habiba Pathan, an Aalima, mother, humanitarian teacher, and artist. She currently lives in Strand, Cape Town. The following is a list of her interests and hobbies, volunteer work, as well as work experience. She does community classes and outreach, Quran reflections and tafsir, Islamic artwork and calligraphy, fiqh issues, is homeschooling, as well as design work. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, Muallimah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran for hosting me.
Alhamdulillah. How are you, Muallimah?
Alhamdulillah, and yourself?
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah so much for being with us.
Yes.
So moving on, Muallimah, inshallah. Tell us more about yourself. Where are you based? What do you do? Where did you study? How long did you study?
Okay,
and
so
what is your interest?
Okay, so first of all, me and Muallimah Khoele, the presenter, we were classmates in Madrassah. So we studied in Zadban from 2005 till 2008. And after that, I taught at the same place for 2 years and I completed my hifz, alhamdulillah. But since I graduated, I didn't stop studying. I furthered my studies in Qira'ah and all different subjects as the community people sent in questions. So I searched further and I mastered certain subjects, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, that's very interesting. Gee, Muallimah, we were classmates, alhamdulillah, and you were, alhamdulillah, one of the best. And alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala made it such that you continued with your studies. Muallimah, tell us, why did you choose this path?
So when I was young, I always wanted to, there was a time when I wanted to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So although I was going to school, I wanted to go somewhere far from home and just connect to Deen. So I told my father that I would like to go to a madrasa that's far from home. And that is how it all started. So I left home and I left home at the age of 15 and then I went to study, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. May Allah accept from you. What are some of the challenges that you have faced or currently facing?
So at the moment, I am busy with giving menstruation classes. I feel that there are many ladies in the world that do not know the proper rulings. So because after I graduated, I got many questions about regarding issues that women experience. And I realized that I didn't have the complete knowledge of how to answer them. And this is what made me go and learn and study in detail all the different scenarios and aspects that ladies experience during their menstruation, especially after they get married and have children, and different hormone therapies that they take and birth planning, etc. So I needed to find all the correct answers for all those women and myself, obviously, who had so many questions, but no one could help.
Subhanallah, that's very interesting. And the fact that you took it up on your own to actually do the research and educate women, may Allah reward you for that, because that is something that is actually much needed within our communities. Alhamdulillah. Mu'allima, what can be done to make our alimas more recognized in the communities?
So, firstly, I think that the alimas, when we pass our deen over, we should pass it over in such a way that people fall in love with the deen, like the way we
Mm,
teach it. And for example, we teach them the rules in such a way that they fall in love with the deen and they want to learn more. It mustn't be such that we are just passing rules to them, or we are just saying
j-
Quran says this, Hadith says that. We should always give them life experiences from people that they know from recent times, and obviously also lifestyles from the Sahabiya radiallahu anhu ajma'in.
j-
Like for example, there is a lot of ignorance about menstruation. So in my classes, I try to give a positive outlook to menstruation. For example, many women feel left out during Ramadan that because
j-
they're on their period, they can't Salah or read Quran, so they are missing out. But Allah Ta'ala tells us that by following His commandments of not of abstaining from the prohibited acts during the period of menstruation is also a form of ibadah and a form of reward. Also,
j-
pregnancy. Many people have like complain about it, like it's so hard, it's so difficult. But then the hadith says, even if you get a thorn prick, you will be rewarded for it. So I try to encourage them to say, no matter what pain or discomfort you go through, your menstruation or your birth or your pregnancy, it will all be a means of reward and worship in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That is so comforting, and so it's so comforting and something that you actually look forward to, because yes, all the time it's like, oh, it's so painful, this and that is so difficult, etc. But when you told them in the way that Muallimah is explaining, it actually makes it easier and more comfortable, and knowing that Allah is going to reward me so immensely for this, for the pain that basically I'm going through. uh Muallima, what are you currently doing? What do you currently do, like in terms of whether it's teaching or any other thing?
Run a hifz madrasa for girls. Then
Mashallah.
in the afternoon, I teach other people online. Then once a
Mm,
week, I have a menstruation workshop for young girls and for older women. Then I have my own account which is called Quran for Thought. So I design infographics on the linguistic aspect of the Quran, like taking out the beauty of the Quran. Sometimes we see similar verses in the Quran and then we wonder why is it similar? There could be a difference in it. So I try and go look up what is the difference and find the nuisance in it. Then I also have
mm.
a Islamic artwork business. I sell Islamic calligraphy. And then, yes, that's it. The day is busy.
Subhanallah. This is a burning question that I've been actually meaning to ask all the muallimas, that how do you space out your day in while you are doing so many things?
I have no idea because when I started this year with all the extra classes, I was thinking, what was I
Mm,
doing when I had no children? Because I had so much free time that time.
mm.
And now when I have more children, then I have so many other responsibilities. So I really don't have any idea how it gets managed. I think you just
Subhanallah.
need to do it.
Yeah, I guess Allah Ta'ala just puts barakah in time and in the process that a person is actually going through, and kids also come with that kind of type of a barakah as well. How can Mu'alima basically tell us that alimas can assist each other, as well as how can a madrasa child best equip themselves when they leave madrasa?
Like, you do not stop studying once you leave madrasa. Like madrasa gives you the tools to they teach you how to open other kitabs and do research. So once
Yeah.
you leave, do not stop. Like when a question comes up, go to different books, open them, research what the question is about, and be confident in what you have researched. So the same thing happened with me. Like
Gee,
the guitars we learn in madrasa, yes, it's good, yes, but sometimes it's basic and it's only applies to us at that moment when we are studying in madrasa. But once we
gee,
are married or move to different places, then circumstances changes and different scenarios come up. So then we will need to now refresh our learning and memory. And you can never ever stop learning. Like
gee.
myself, although I studied in madrasa, you never, and after I learned all the rulings of menstruation in detail, I realized like how much work I did not know or how many rules I was
Mm,
practicing wrong. So after you can say like 36 years, you are still learning and you are trying to correct your deen and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the correct way. So we should never ever stop studying and also we should trust each other. The alimas should trust
mm.
the other alimas and not question like where did you study and how did you get your references, etc. The mere fact that you consulted books and reliable scholars should be enough to accept the knowledge from them.
Wow, that's very true, actually, because those are the type of things that we look down upon. Most of the alimas, what madrasa you went to, how credible that madrasa is, the mere fact that you can see whatever the person has learned or and teaching, that also should build a trust within ourselves. I think one of the uppers also had mentioned the same thing. Mualima, what advice can you give to the audience, especially the young women out there?
Always try to strive to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the only way you are going to be able to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is if you know at every single moment in your life what is required of you. And you will only know that through studying the different aspects of deen. Uh, so if you're getting married, then the only way to correctly obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in marriage is to go and learn all the aspects about marriage, Islamic marriage. If you're going to do a business, then the only way to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly is to go learn all the rules of doing a halal and correct business. So in the same way with women, because menstruation and nifas is something that affects our life every single day, it will be compulsory for us in order to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly. We will have to go and learn the knowledge correctly and properly so we can practice the correct ruling at any given moment until the day we pass away, inshallah.
Inshallah. May Allah Ta'ala make it easy for us, inshallah. And may Allah take us from strength to strength. And may Allah open up all the doors of barakah for you as well, Mu'allima, and your children, and your family. Jazakallah so much for your advices. And we've learned so much from you. And if anyone wants to contact Mu'allima with regards to any of the work that Mu'allima is doing, please do provide for us info or yeah, gee, if you can, inshallah.
Page
Whether
is
it's
for Quran for Thought. It's on Instagram, Quran for Thought.
Quran for
And yes, and my business page is Sacred Islamic Arts. And I do have classes running for menstruation for ladies who would like to learn the rulings in detail. It is designed in such a way that even the layperson can understand it, and they wouldn't need a scholar to verify what they are doing because I try to explain every single scenario. But
mm,
I'm almost done with the first round of teaching. So when I open it up again, inshallah, I will give Muallimah Khoele the poster, then maybe she can announce it on the Salam media. Then the ladies can join the course that time, inshallah.
inshallah. I mean, Jazakallah so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Connect and stay ahead